I don't remember why.
She was saying that the teacher was saying that in order for Isabella to move up, she should be taking 3 classes a week.
Oh, right.
Which I feel like is the teacher trying to just get more money out of them, because
Probably.
I took ballet at that age. You don't learn a lot.
You don't need to take that many classes when you're like 4?
She's like 4.
Yeah.
You don't need to take that many classes. Like, you start taking
Definitely
like
not.
multiple classes a week if you really want to get into it by the time you're like probably like 7 or 8. But
Yeah.
4,
She's still way too young. 4, you're still like trying to figure out what you're actually doing.
4 is still like point your toes, plie. Like, I took dance classes since I was like very little, and like there are some points where you just like run around the room because the kids have so much energy.
Exactly.
It's like just run in circles for a while.
Yep. This is still like ginger snap age in the Nutcracker. Like, you're not doing a whole lot.
Truly.
But then, but Mia's like, well, Isabella loves it, so she's going to do it. She's like, I can do it. I work. I can pay for this now. Whatever.
And her mom's like, I was unsure about this modeling thing, but now I'm happy you do it.
And it's just like more pressure to keep modeling. And then,
which is what Mia wants to be doing anyway.
I know. I mean, I get she's like falling behind in school, but it seems like she wants to be modeling. So I'm like, why don't you just get your GED and model, and then you can figure out what you want to do later if you don't like it anymore? I don't know. I feel like that's not a terrible plan.
Seriously.
But she's getting all this guilt and like pressure from her friends who are like, you can't quit school. But that comes later. But then she's at a modeling shoot and she's talking to, surprise, fucking Shay Mitchell from Pretty Little Liars is in this episode.
Super weird.
And she's like, and then Mia's like, how do you balance it with school? And she's like, I dropped out of school. Like, after I got my first modeling contract, like, whatever. And she's like, girls like us need to cash in while we can. This is our prime. And then the next scene, Mia is immediately like, okay, I'm going to drop out of school.
I mean, she makes a decent point, though. Like, especially, like if you're
this
not,
is
like,
what
a
you...
super famous supermodel, like, you only have a certain amount of time that you can have this job.
Yeah, and if it's what you want to do, it's like, just get your GED and ride. Like, you don't need to be in school if you're already doing what you want to do and you're good at what you're doing.
And it's not like was trying to be some, like, academic before this. She was just, like, doing it because she had to be there.
Yeah, because she was legally obligated to go to school. But, yes, and in the next scene, she's like, all right, dropping out. And Miss Sauvé is like, are you sure? And she's like, yep.
And then she and Miss Sauvé is like, make sure to clean out your locker. And Mia walks out of the school with a big box full of her stuff like she just got fired at her office job. I, like, expected a plant and a stapler to be in there. It was, like, it was just strange. It was a strange prop choice.
And then stupid Peter runs out and is like, Mia, I just heard. Like, what? Like, you're making a huge mistake. Like, what are you doing? And she's like, fuck you, I can do what I want.
Basically, she's like, you have everything handed to you. I'm working for
like
what I need to have.
I'm doing this to support my child and myself. Like, I can't do school anymore. And he's like,
and then of course, classic fucking dude is like, is this about us? Is this about me? And she's like, what?
She's like,
no.
Get over yourself, and walks away. Just like, fuck you, Peter. This isn't about you.
To which we all say, yeah, same.
Idiot.
Fuck you, Peter.
But then Holly J walks into art. Oh yeah, so the teacher said she could like try her art thing again to try to like make up her grade. And then Holly J walks in with a Jackson Pollock ripoff and is like, hey, she wanted abstract. And she's like, I know who fucking Jackson Pollock is. You copied this from a textbook. You're going to stay with your same grade. Which is also very fair because she just plagiarized essentially for her assignment, but she's still getting a C.
She should have failed her. Also, she just like insulted her intelligence by thinking that the art teacher isn't going to recognize Jackson Pollock.
Honestly. And then Holly J, who is such a fucking whiner, and she's like, you can't do that. Like, this isn't, like, I can copy stuff out of the book for, like, geography or whatever. Like, why should it be any different? And the art teacher's like, because this is a different class. Like, this is art that doesn't work that way.
Why doesn't Holly J understand what art is?
I don't understand. And then Holly J is like, just because you failed at art and you're a teacher doesn't mean you should take it out on me. Like, those you can't do, teach, right? And she's being just so rude.
She's being a real dick about it.
And then the teacher's like, I think you should excuse yourself. And the teacher is also just like so calm and cool and collected. And she's like, please leave. Like, I don't want to deal with this. She's
definitely a little bit stoned, because otherwise this would not have ended well.
Yeah, it's stupid. She's a goddamn idiot. But then
she has no business trying an art class at all. She like is not willing to. I
know, why
Holly
is she
J.
taking art in the first place? I don't get it.
know.
But then the next scene, Sav is confronting his dad about wanting to explore music. And his dad is like, I mean, I loved the accordion, but I didn't go after that. Like, you need to be able to support yourself. Like, I didn't give up everything to study to raise you here. And I don't know. It's like all like classic, like parental pressure to be like, I didn't do all this so you could like throw it away on music.
It's always music.
And
also, like, who loves the accordion?
Apparently Sav's dad.
Sav's dad and, like, people
Weird Al.
People in, like, the Parisian metro. I don't know.
I don't know. But then, like, the next scene, Sav's, like, trying out for the music thing, I guess, to spite his dad. He's like, well, I'm going to do it anyway. And he's playing the trumpet. I'm like, can he just play every instrument?
I think that's what they're trying to imply.
To be he's like a musical genius.
He's like...
He's a prodigy.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's weird. Because, like, since when does he even play the trumpet?
Like, have you ever even picked one up before? How do you just know how to do this? That doesn't make any sense.
He's just immediately good. Which makes me think that, like, you know what? I would like to see Sav in a ska band.
Oh, no.
I want to see how that would go.
Oh, no.
I'm curious.
But yeah, he tries out for the music class thing and is playing the trumpet flawlessly. After, like, he's nervous at first and it's bad, and then he's like, oh, wait, hold on. And then he just plays the trumpet. And then Holly J is outside, like, failing at doing the assignment for art. And then Blue comes by and is like, there's no right or wrong answer. Just try. Like, how do you feel now? And she's like
a disaster.
He's like,
good.
Go with that.
Oh, Blue. You're so pretty.
I know. And then she like crumples up the paper, but then she's like, wait, I can go with this. So she has some inspiration. But then the next scene, Mia's mom is yelling at her because she did not give her permission to drop out of school. To which I say, how was she able to do this in the first place? Because I'm pretty sure she's not 18.
I don't know. I feel like her mom would have had to sign off on
Yeah,
it.
Exactly. And I think they're at Isabella's school and she's like going to pick her up, but they're fighting about how she's like dropped out of school.
And then there's of course a sign on the wall that says, what do you want to be when you grow up? Because that's like the theme of this episode. Mm-hmm. And her mom is talking about how she used to want to be everything, including a vampire slayer, which, like, girl, same, we all did. We've seen Buffy.
Although she grew up to be the opposite of that because she becomes a vampire on the CW.
That's
and
true.
Just like, oh, that's a spoiler alert. She goes to hang out with vampires on the CW.
True fact.
Whatever.
But like also, I mean, and she mentions it in her speech later, but like, of course she wanted to be everything when she was a kid, but like her life changed.
She's allowed to change her mind about what she wants to do when she gets older.
Yeah, and especially since she has a kid, like her priorities are different now than they were when she was like young and could do whatever she wanted and the world was her oyster. Now she's qualified to do like one thing, and that is be attractive.
Exactly.
And like take care of her child, because like that is like
that's where her priorities are.
That's what she has the bandwidth for right now. Like she can only do so much.
Yeah. But then it's like the next day and Shantae is giving her speech and she of course wants to be like a tabloid journalist because she wants to report on juicy gossip.
Of course she does.
Like that makes sense.
I wrote the same thing. I was like, yeah, that tracks that Shantae wants to be like a fucking gossip columnist.
Yeah. And then Mia, like, walks into the class, and Queen Kwanda's like, you're not allowed to be here. She's like, I just re-registered. And she's like, I want to give my speech. And she's like, that's not fair to the students. Like, you had your chance, da-da-da. And Mia's like, please let me. And she's like, all right, only if the class agrees. And then Anya and Holly J are like, yeah, we want to hear it. Of course we, like, are fine with her giving her speech.
Which, like, maybe everyone else should have been able to weigh in instead of just Anya and Holly J.
Whatever.
And I was surprised that Holly J was like, do it.
Yeah.
Holly J's feeling good.
And then Mia gives a speech of being like, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. But, like, things changed for me when I was 13 and I had a child. And now I just have to figure out what I want to do. And gives, like, a nice speech.
It's all very uplifting. And there's, like, a montage of everyone, like, just figuring out their shit. Sav gets permission from his dad. And he, like, explains all the things he can do. And he's like, and if I want to take physics later and I change my mind, I can. Which, like, also is true. Like, it's not going to be too late for him to be an engineer.
Yeah.
Like, you can go study for that, like, late in life. Like,
and his dad is being very supportive.
He's being cool.
You don't need to take engineering in high school to be able to do it in college either. Like,
yeah, that's not...
It probably just, like, gives you a better, like, a leg up to get into school for that.
It's just not how that works.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that gets nicely buttoned up. And then Holly J shows her painting to Ms. Dawes.
And she's like, this is a Sinclair original. It's great.
And Holly J is like, it's so ugly. What are you talking about? But, like, I actually didn't hate it.
And her teacher's like, but you fucking did what I told you to do. You did the assignment. This is the right one. And Holly J's like, what? Okay, whatever.
Holly J does not get art.
And then the teacher's like, so I guess I probably won't see you in art next semester. And Holly J's like, no, but maybe art appreciation? And it's like, okay, yeah, Holly J has no business being in an art class.
No.
That's, if we've learned anything from this experience, it's that. And then Sav and Anya are, like, walking in the halls, and this is when he's wearing that Be the Change shirt, and he's like, my dad said I could do the music program, yay! And then Mia, like, comes up, and she's like, and Anya hugs her, and she's like, we missed you so much! And she's like, I was only gone for a day, but I'm back now. I've limited my modeling schedule to just holidays and weekends or something.
It was holidays and the summer.
In the summer?
Which is not how that
not
works.
How it works. But sure,
like,
she's
I know,
back at school.
Like, I know of models who, like, get pregnant and then become pregnancy models and then have a baby and then go right back into modeling. Like, it's not like a thing that you're like, I can do this on, like, once every 6 months. Like, you're not going to get any jobs that way.
No.
You need, like, especially, like, I feel like any field like that, like, any art situation or anything that's, like, you know, that you have to, like, really, like,
and
climb up for.
Is also, yeah, it's extremely competitive. If you drop off, someone else is waiting to just take your place.
Exactly. Like, any sort of job where you have to, like, really, like, claw your way up to get into it, like, you will be replaced. It's not just, like, a thing that you can drop off the face of the earth. Like, you need to be, like, in the eye all the time. Like, people need to see you so they will keep booking you. Otherwise, they will forget you exist.
Yeah, I'm annoyed that her entire, like, her family and her friends all just pressured her into going back to school when I feel like she, like, didn't need to. Like, she could have just continued modeling and
gotten a GED
or did, like, independent study or something that worked, like, with whatever her schedule was.
I know so many people who got GEDs and then went to college. Like,
yeah.
I know several high school dropouts who got their GEDs and, like, went on to, like, decent schools. And my one friend who got her GED, she dropped out of high school. She got her GED. She did all of her undergrad. She transferred from, like, a community college to, like, you know, like, a state school for undergrad. And then she went to fucking, like, Fordham for grad school. Like, you just fucking work your way up.
There's not just one path to college.
No, and she has a really good job now.
Yeah, and also, like, even if she had gotten her GED and then went off modeling and took time off between, like, high school and college, she still would have been able to get into college later. And even, like, having the work experience could have, like, helped her be prepared to, like, go back into college. Like, that could be your personal statement. And that's, like, a different angle, and it probably could help you get into, like, cool colleges or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like, there is not just one direct path. She does not have to do this. Like, it frustrates me. Like, my mom took 6 years off in between high school and college.
Yeah, you're allowed to, like, move at your own pace and move in your own, like, path. I don't know. Whatever.
These people are very narrow-minded.
Definitely. And then Holly J walks by and is like, okay, good. Like, you're lucky I let you back in, which doesn't make any sense. And she's like, with great responsibility comes great power. And Sav is like, that's wrong. I know my Spider-Man, because of course he does. And she's like, whatever. And I'm like, of course she flopped it that way.
She's like, nobody's perfect.